Cashin Elementary is located in Greenville, South Carolina. Robert E. Cashin is considered to be a critical needs school, and it serves around 700 to 800 students. Our school serves a wide variety of students and parents every day. A little over 80% of students receive free and reduced lunch. Our students and teachers walk through the doors of Robert E. Cashin every morning and feel loved. The environment within the building is one that reaches to touch student lives, educates children to become valuable members of society, and one where everybody cares for each other. Over the past few months, the people in this school every day have become a family. I even sometimes forget that my students are only my students and not my children. I have fallen in love with this school and the people that touch my life every day. I am blessed to teach 3rd grade at Robert E. Cashin in room 302. This classroom has become my home. I am lucky enough to be the teacher of 23 precious children. There are 23 students in my class. 6 are Caucasian, 11 are African American, 3 are Hispanic, 1 that is half African American and half Caucasian, 1 that is half African American and half Middle Eastern, and 1 that is half Caucasian and half Hispanic. Since I have been planning the layout for my classroom since I was about 4 years old, I went into my classroom in July to unpack and pretty much knew how I wanted my classroom to look. I knew I wanted my students to sit in groups because I believe that cooperative learning is extremely effective and engaging for students. I wanted my classroom to be welcoming and inviting to students, so Pinterest became my best friend. I wanted to create a classroom environment where students could feel safe and motivated to learn. My classroom even won the Creative Comment Award for the month of October. This award means that our bulletin board and classroom is visually appealing as well as inviting and welcoming to students. During reading workshop, we begin lessons with a mini lesson, which is often supported by anchor charts that students help create and refer to during independent reading time. Then students practice a reading skill or strategy while they read independently, while I am meeting with guided reading groups and conferencing with students. We often do interactive read-alouds as well. My students' favorite book we have read all year is The Book with No Pictures. They think it is hysterical, which it is. Students are also able to read independently anywhere in the room they want to, as long as it is a calm space and they are reading. On Fridays, I let them bring a furry friend and a blanket to read with. We also use fake witch fingers when we read to make sure that we touch each and every word as we are reading. Our classroom environment makes learning fun. Our class learns in a variety of ways that are developmentally appropriate. For example, when we learned about the writing process, we learned about it by using Play-Doh to model what each step of the process looks like. We also have publishing parties every time the students finish a piece of writing that they are proud of, so they can see and feel what the publishing part of the process is like. During this time, students rotate around to each student's desk and read their writing and leave comments stating what they loved about what they just read. The students love reading comments from their peers. One student even called it Christmas on paper. We learn about writing by using anchor charts, which my students use as a reference during writing workshops. Our assistant principal was so impressed with our writing workshop that she came to our classroom during afternoon announcements and let a couple of my students read their introduction paragraph to the whole school. My students learned about character and physical traits by first using themselves. They poked their heads through a hole in their paper, and surrounding their head, they wrote character traits about themselves. Then we moved on to applying what we have learned to a character. So I let students pick their favorite character from a book and draw them. On the outside of their booklet, they wrote physical traits describing the character, and on the inside, they wrote character traits about the character. Students who needed to be pushed a little more also wrote text evidence to show why they chose each character trait. Students learned how to add dialogue to their stories by gluing macaroni noodles onto paper where commas and quotation marks belong. This helps them when writing their narrative. In science, we do fun experiments to teach content. We have done experiments about erosion and weathering. In math, we do guided math groups with center rotations. We do activities such as practicing multiplication using dice, playing cards, and dry erase boards and Chromebooks. Our favorite thing to do is practice our multiplication while rapping.
1 times 8 equals 8. 1 times 9 equals 9.
Okay. So today in math, we're going to learn about the associative property. So we've already learned about the associative property, right?
Yes.
But we learned about it with addition, and today we're going to learn it with multiplication. So what did we call the associative property? How did it help? How did we remember it? Khalees? The hugging. Why? Why was it called the hugging, Amberly?
Because it was like they're hugging.
It looks like they're hugging. And look, the parentheses, it looks like they're going in for a hug, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, Brendan, come up here. Okay, this is kind of like a parentheses, right? Okay, Brendan, come in. Okay, this is 3 times 4, and I'm the times 2 equals. So we'll look and see, what is 3 times 4? Trinity?
8.
3 times 4.
12.
You want to phone a friend? Keelan, what's 3 times 4? 12. And what's 12 times 2? Jada.
12 times 2.
24. So our answer is 24. Now watch this. Lance, switch places with me. Okay, now inside the hug, now me and Bryce are going to hug each other. What's 3 times 2? Elizabeth. 6. 6. And 6 times 4 is 24. So does it matter what order we're all in up here, the 3 numbers?
No.
Does it matter where the parentheses are?
No.
The answer is still the same, right?
In the midst of all this fun, you can imagine the excitement that bursts out of my students. It has been a learning experience for me of how to effectively manage classroom expectations and behavior. I have changed and revised my behavior system several times already. I have added things such as coupons, surprise lollipops, outstanding student daily award, the sweet seat for good behavior, group behavior competitions, prize box, positive parent phone calls, and also informing parents if there is an issue at school that needs to be addressed. I feel like I have gotten much better at managing classroom behavior and setting expectations, but of course it is an area that I am going to get better at with experience and time. I am constantly learning new things from research, colleagues, my firm and friends, and my university supervisor and mentor. I love my job and my REC family. I am thankful for every student because they have all touched my heart and changed me. I can't wait to continue to learn new things from my students and help them grow.